What's going on, guys? It's time to do our week 13 reaction for this week. So let's get started here. So before I give you my week 13 reactions for this week, don't forget to put thumbs up to like the video, subscribe to my channel more watching, and comment down your opinion below to see what you think of my week 13 reactions. So I'm gonna get started with the topics I'm gonna be talking about. This first topic I want to talk about is the Lions are frauds, which the Lions are being frauds. Now here's why. Now the Lions have lost they've lost like they lost three of their last four of their last 5 games, I believe. And they're sitting at 7-5, and they just lost to the Packers once again. Now I want to talk about what's wrong with the Lions. Now, this Lions team right now, they're looking to not win big because here's why. Because Detroit, here's the thing. Against the Packers on Sunday, the Lions, on Thursday, they've really struggled to get things going offensively where they were giving up a little pressure, guys weren't getting open, guys weren't separating, especially Amon-Ra went down, and all of a sudden when he went down, guys weren't separating, guys weren't getting open on screen passes. Like, I don't know what's going on because it was like a play calling issue where the Lions, they were just like getting like absolutely like diced up, especially on defense. Like, how do you defense get shredded by Green Bay? Like, Green Bay's defense did play really good in this game, covering and putting pressure on the quarterback as well. Because the Lions offense gave up 3 sacks. Like, how do you not like protect the quarterback? You gotta help your like Jared Goff, like you gotta help your offensive line. Like, how do you not help your offensive line? You gotta help your offensive line. Because now, I'm worried about this team, and now this team is totally worried that they're totally in danger of missing the playoffs, which that does worries me a little bit because right now the Bears are leading that division, the Packers are in second place in the division, which that does worry me a little bit, and that's why this seems such a fraud. And I've been saying this offense right now may not look the same, especially without Amon-Ra St. Brown playing and Sam Laporta playing, and now you got James and Williams to rely on, and you got two running backs of Jahmyr Gibbs and Dan Montgomery you got to rely on. If you can put pressure on Jared Goff and stop the run, your defense will totally get it good and be in good shape to help out your secondary, be able to stop the pass, and force Jared Goff, into some tough throws and all that. And then defensively, like I've been saying, they've just being way too predictable because the defense literally had no sacks against the Packers. You gave us so many big plays down the middle of the field, and Jordan gave up 4 touchdown passes to Jordan Love. And I've been saying, like, they're mediocre against the run, and they're starting to get a little bit mediocre. Like, they're starting to be bad against the pass because they were getting up so many explosive plays down the field, and that's what the Lions defensively are doing. Because now it's a coaching issue where they're not doing well defensively, and they're not doing well offensively with the play calling. And now Dan Campbell's calling plays. And all of a sudden, it's starting to not work a little bit. Because we seen them almost lost to the Giants. We seen them almost lost to the Giants. Here's why. Because here's the thing. The reason why they almost lost to the Giants is because here's the thing. The Giants, they were like getting so explosive on offense. And the Lions defense gave up 500 total yards in that game because where the Lions offense, they could not stop Jameis Winston. And now you struggle to contain Jordan Love. Once again, like I've been saying, they got to do better defensively. And offensively, they got to start doing better and not giving up pressure, starting to run the football, start to open up holes. You got to do that, though. That's what you got to do. You got to fix that. Now it's starting to get a coaching problem. Like I've been saying, just call some screen passes to get things going or just run the football. Run the ball with Jahmyr Gibbs or Dave Montgomery, or just call some screen pass to get things going. Defensively, they need to start doing better, stopping the pass. Like I've been saying, they play too much man coverage, and you're just relying on your corners to step up. You're relying on your linebacker to step up. Like they've been struggling lately against wide receivers and tight ends. And especially when the Giants did not have Malik Neighbors, Jameis Winston was having all day. He was making some explosive passes. Like they were letting guys wide open. Like they gotta start doing better defensively. And they almost lost that game to the Giants. And now they lost that game to the Packers. 31-24. Like I didn't really expect the Packers to score 30 plus on them, but they did because here's the thing: the Packers offense, they were looking like themselves in that game. They were moving the ball. They were controlling time possession. Like that's how they won. And as I'm concerned, the Lions are frauds. And the Lions, they might not make the playoffs this year. You might as well call them the most overrated team ever. And they're probably not the same as last year. Even when they were dealing with a lot of injuries, they still found a way to win a lot of games with great coaching. But I feel like the loss of their offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator is probably holding them back a little bit. I don't know, and that's why this team is a fraud. So, yeah, as I'm saying, I don't know if Detroit's going to make the playoffs this year. Well, we'll see what happens. Then we got the Cowboys upsetting the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are in trouble. Now, I want to talk about the Cowboys upsetting the Chiefs. I want to talk about the positives because the Cowboys so far have finally turned their season around and they've been finding ways to win close games. Now, they blew out the Raiders by 2 scores. They really won the Eagles, made a comeback win against the Eagles, winning a close game, and they just win a close game against the Chiefs. So everything is good for Dallas. I mean, I like how the way Dallas is playing as an offense right now. I like how they're playing as a defense. They're starting to stop the run better. I like how the way the offense is producing. They're finding ways to they're finding ways to run the ball. They're finding ways to control the game. Like I like how the way Dallas is playing as an offense, and defensively, I like how the way they're playing on defense so far. Now the coaching is a lot better though. And now I want to talk about the Chiefs because, as far as I'm concerned, because the Chiefs so far are in trouble because they're laying at 6-6 and still have a chance to make the playoffs. And now I'm saying the Chiefs are frauds because they're 6-6 and they lost to the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I want to talk about the positives about the Chiefs because so far the offense is pretty good, but the defense cannot get a stop when they need to get a stop. I've been saying this though. It's best not to bet against the Chiefs. And I had the Cowboys all day in that game. We already know that because you already know the Chiefs can't cover anything. They can't even cover a spread. Because they can't be trusted on the point spread against good teams. Because I've been saying because even if I pick the Chiefs to win, I can't pick them to cover anytime soon because I can't trust that defense though. Because I've been saying they always let teams hang around. Like sometimes they'll get a league and all of a sudden the team will try to come back on them. Like here's the thing. We've seen the Chiefs defense not play good in these moments. Like they've been very competitive in one of these games, but they have not been competitive of being some of the winner in one of their games. Because look here. Because the Chiefs so far are looking like the worst, are looking like a fraud right now because they're not winning against these teams above 500. Now they went up there and beat the Colts, and then they couldn't beat the Broncos, and they almost won that game. And they lost to the Bills, and they lost a close game to Jacksonville. They lost a close game to the Chargers and the Eagles. And that's all you got to say for the Chiefs because this Chiefs team looks like the most overrated team in football. Because now their offensive line is dealing with injuries. I don't really know what it's going to look like against the Texans, but we'll see. Now, the defense so far, they can stop the run, but they're not great against the pass because we've seen the Chiefs defense take so many penalties in this game, and which allowed Dallas to win the game. Because, they were taking so many penalties on defense because of the pass interference call. And I've been saying, the Chiefs are cheaters. And they could have won that game. If they would have won that game, if they didn't take too many penalties, they would have won the game. But the refs didn't. The refs decided, oh, we want the Cowboys to win, and we gonna call pass interference on the defense to get the Cowboys in field goal, to get in the red zone to score. And that's what they did. And I don't even know about you Cowboys fans, because I don't know about you Chiefs, because the Chiefs, so far they're starting to look like a fraud to me, because they're in trouble because of how the way they're not finding ways to win games where they should be. So far as I know, I just don't really see how the Cowboys find a way to move the ball. Like, I just don't really see how the Chiefs, find a way to end this game on a losing record, because I don't know they're going to win the division, because now the Broncos are leading the division with 10 wins right now. And the Chargers are in second place in the playoff picture. So basically, the Chiefs are in trouble sitting in third place in the division, and they might not catch up with one of these teams, which I hope they do, because I think they can. Because now it could be too late, because Denver's probably going to win that division, because they're the best team in the AFC West. And they haven't won the AFC West since Peyton Manning retired. So the Chiefs are in trouble, and good win for Dallas anyways. Now, I want to talk about the Bengals upsetting the Ravens / the Ravens are frauds. Because the Bengals really bounced back after losing, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, after losing 4 straight games, they found a way to bounce back against the Ravens. Now, I want to talk about the positives of what the Bengals did. Now, I like how the way the Bengals looked on offense. I like how the way they looked on defense. And I like how the way the Ravens on offense, the Bengals found a way to move the ball. They were running the ball. They were throwing the ball. Like, Joe Burrow had a lot of time. And I like how the way, the Bengals did it on defense, getting some stop when they need to, forcing 5 turnovers and all that. So, yeah, good win by them. Was good coaching. And the Ravens so far, I don't know what's going on with Baltimore right now, because their offense is totally not looking the same. Like, it's totally not looking like the same, especially without, their best, especially without their best, especially they're not playing their best, especially with Lamar being beat up with injuries, because we know he's been beat up with injuries lately, and all of a sudden he's still struggling. Like, the Ravens offense had like 5 turnovers in that game. Like, it was 1 interception and 4 lost fumbles, and we know they struggled to do so, limiting the turnovers. Like, they had trouble scoring the red zone. Like, guys weren't getting open, guys weren't separating, and that's the whole thing. Defensively, they were good for the most part, but they found a way. But they couldn't find a way to get stops when they need to. Because here's the thing. Like I've been saying, the Ravens defense has been bad all year. Like I've been saying, they couldn't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. Because Joe Burrow had 2 passing touchdowns for over 246 passing yards. And then all of a sudden, he outplayed Lamar Jackson. And Jamar Chase had a good game and all that. And all of a sudden, the Bengals allowed 3 sacks. Now, here's the thing. I want to talk about, the Bengals only had 38 minutes of possession with the Ravens allowed. And the Bengals outgained them by 382 yards to 346 yards. And the Ravens so far, this is the reason why they're a fraud, because here's the thing. After, a slow start, they get back to 500, and all of a sudden they drop again, which is terrible. And Zachary Orr has been the biggest problem for that Ravens defense. Like, he's calling different blitz styles and calling the size coverages. He got to do better defensively. They got to start doing better defensively, stopping the pass, not giving up big plays after big plays. Like, they got to do better in that range. Because right now, as I look at the Ravens, they still have a chance to win the division because here's the thing, like you have the Steelers lose, Browns lose, and you got a chance to be first in the division even though no you lost. Like this was so embarrassing though. Like I just can't believe that they got embarrassed by the Bengals like that. Like I didn't expect that to happen. And the Bengals so far got lucky on that, and their playoff hopes are still alive. They could totally chase the Ravens and the Steelers in the playoffs since Joe Burrow's back. So yeah, so unbelievable. I mean, great win by Cincinnati. Give them credit. And the Ravens are frauds, and they still got a lot of work to do. Okay, I want to talk about the Bears being legit because the Bears are on a 5-game winning streak, and they have been finding ways to win some games and close it out. Now, I want to talk about the positive of the Bears. Now, I like how the way they were able to run the ball against the Eagles. They were able to run the ball, and I like how they were able to at least like control the game and have time possession because they were running the ball for like over 200 yards. And, they weren't good in the passing game, but they were good in the running game. And I just really think that, the Bears on defense were looking pretty good. Like they found a way. They stopped the run really well. They were able to stop the pass. But Jalen Hurts did have some good throws at the end. And they were able, the Eagles passing game was good in the game. I mean, A.J. Brown, a good game. That's good. But at the same time, the Bears, they're legit and they've been finding ways to win. And Ben Johnson's a masterclass. Like, his team has been finding ways to win games. I mean, he's a really great offensive play caller, and he's out coaching everybody, which has given the Bears a chance to win games. Like, his play calls are really good. He's finding ways to at least, like, scheme things up offensively. Like, he's doing a really good job with his offense. So far, the defense is playing really good, taking the football away and all something like that and getting stops when they need to. So, yeah, I like this Bears team. They're looking like a pretty good team. They're starting to find ways to at least win football games, but now we already know they're not done yet because right now they still have a chance to make the playoffs, and I highly doubt they will because how the way they're playing. But so I think the Bears, they're legit. I feel like they're a playoff. I feel like they're going to be a playoff contender in the next couple weeks. Now I want to talk about this Eagles team. Because right now, the Eagles have lost their last 2 games back to back to the Cowboys and the Bears. I want to talk about the negatives for the Eagles because so far the Eagles are 8-4, and they're frauds though. Because this Eagles team right now is totally not looking great. Because here's the thing, I don't really like how the way the Eagles are playing as an offense right now. Because right now their offense has been struggling to get things going, especially in the run game and passing game. Like, I've been really saying, like, it's a play calling issue with the Eagles. I don't know who their OC is, but he's a joke. Like, the Eagles offense was not able to sustain drives that game. Like, they weren't. I don't know why, but the offense wasn't able to sustain drives. And the reason why their offense wasn't able to sustain drives is because here's the thing. So far, the offense right now, they're struggling. They're not sustaining drives. Guys aren't getting open. Guys aren't separating. And now it's becoming a play calling issue. And defensively is where I get to the point where what they're doing defensively, like how they're not like doing nothing defensively. Like, it's starting to be a play calling issue. Like, why isn't the defense playing good? They're getting run over. They're getting pushed around. Like, what's going on? Like, they couldn't stop the run. They stopped the pass for this point because Hurts outplayed Caleb because the Bears can get the pass game going. But the Bears ran for over 280 yards, which is crazy. Like, how do you get run over by the Bears? Like, how do you not stop the run? I've been saying the defense has been declining like almost for like the past 2 games. Their defense has been declining. Like, they act like they can't stop anybody. Like, they couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. Like, they stopped the pass better than the run. But their run defense got ran over by the Bears. Like the Bears ran for 200 yards, and all of a sudden you just let them run down your throat like that. I thought the Eagles had the best run defense in football, and now you weren't able to stop the run this game? Because all you did, you just let the Bears, just run down your throat like that? Like, how do you do that? I mean, the Eagles, like I'm saying, they're frauds right now because their defense not playing well, and all of a sudden their offense right now is not producing. Like their OC doesn't know what to do. Like I've been saying, like when it's 2nd and 10, you gotta stop calling quarterback draws on back-to-back drives and just run the ball with Saquon Barkley or have somebody going downhill and call some screen plays. Just call screen passes to Devonta Smith to get things going. Like that's what you gotta do. Just call screen passes. And he didn't do that today. And he didn't do that against the Bears. And all of a sudden, they're running the ball up the middle where they're getting stuffed. And all of a sudden, they turn the ball around a tush push. Like, the Eagles just banned a tush push. Like, why are you doing that? Like, how do you ban a tush push? Like, you just banned a tush push, and all of a sudden, you decided to you decided to not do well, and you decided not to move the ball. You decided to play some soft offense and just be sloppy where guys aren't getting open making plays. Devonta Smith even dropped the pass on 3rd down, which that's terrible. And all of a sudden your kicker misses one of these drives because the Eagles, like, they gotta start, they need to do better. Like, they could have came back in this game though, but it wasn't the case because all of a sudden they just let the Bears run the clock down. And that's the issue with the Eagles. Like, and that's why they're frauds, because losing 2 games like that back to back, that's just historically terrible. Like, how do you do that? And it's been coming a play calling issue for Philly. Like, Vic Fangio's a really good DC, but their offensive coordinator needs to go because he's not doing a really good job with the offense. They need to fire their OC and probably get a new OC, or either they can probably let Nick Sirianni call the plays, because Nick Sirianni, he's just like a jabroni. Like what's he doing? Like, how does he not have everybody in the box to play the run? You, like, when you play the run, you got to get everybody in the box to stop the run. You got to do that though. Because, like I've been saying, you cannot stop the run unless you load the box. You got to load the box to stop the run. And when you play the run, like, put Jalen Carter, put Jalen Phillips, and put Nolan Smith and Jordan Davis, put those guys in their position to play the run. That's how your run defense is going to respond and get an answer. But they weren't able to have an answer, though. And they got to do that, though. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, the Eagles are frauds, and they still have a chance to win the division, though. Because right now, they're 8-4, and Dallas look like they're almost catching up and looking like to make the playoffs. So, yeah, I mean, give credit to the Bears. Great game plan by Ben Johnson. Great game by the coaches. Like, yeah. Okay, I want to talk about the Panthers upsetting the Rams because, far as I know, the Panthers did upset the Rams. Because here's the thing. I like how the way Carolina played as an offense. Like, they were throwing the ball. Like, Bryce Young had 206 passing yards and 3 touchdowns with no picks. Now, they were running the ball a little bit. And defensively, they were really good. They were stopping. Like, they were stopping the run. They were forcing turnovers and everything like that. At Carolina, they responded, though. I mean, last week against the Niners, it wasn't pretty. They couldn't do that in that game. But against the Rams, they found a way to do it. You got to give the coaches credit. I mean, Dave Canales seems like he looks to be a really good coach right now. He looks to be a really good coach in the future because his team is finding ways to finish games. Like, they found a way to finish against the Rams, and they're finding ways to finish against the Dallas Cowboys. They found a way to finish against the Dolphins, against the Jets, against the Falcons twice. Like, the Carolina Panthers, like, they're looking like a really good solid team, and this is a team right here that can totally make the wild card round, which I would not be surprised because they're finding ways to win, and they've been proving me wrong almost week after week after week, but they're not. They've been proving me wrong every other week because I thought I was gonna be right on that game, but anyway, I was wrong. But they found a way to be a good Packers team as well too. So yeah, so Carolina right now, they're starting to find their winning ways. They're finding ways to win, and and all like that. Like I didn't really expect it to happen, but it did. Like Carolina's offense, like I said, they were playing really good. They were being creative. Guys were separating. Guys were getting open. Defenses were like playing really good, getting pressure and all that and stuff like that. So yeah, so it was a good win by the Carolina Panthers. You might as well give them credit and all that, but I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but we'll see. Now I want to talk about the Texans versus Colts game because so far the Texans won 24-20. CJ Stroud had 246 passing yards and had like 0 touchdown passes. He outplayed Daniel Jones. Now Daniel Jones was not 100% because he was 14 of 27, 201 yards, 2 touchdown passes. And we already know the Colts so far couldn't run the football and only had 86 rushing yards. And so far, the Texans only had 1 sack, and they found a way to win the game. Like I've been saying, the Texans got the best defense in football. Like I've been saying, they can stop the run, they can stop the pass, they can do everything. Like they can stop. They have the answer that they can stop a nosebleed. Like they do. Like I've been saying, they stop the run really well. They stop the pass, and CJ Stroud had a good game coming back from an injury, so that was great. They were really good offensively in the passing game and the running game, and they only outgained it by 364 yards to 281, which that was nice. So far, it was a pretty good game though. I mean, the Colts did struggle to get something going offensively, but they found a way to almost keep the game close, and the Texans found a way to win. So that was good. DeMeco Ryan deserves Coach of the Year as well for doing a really good job of that defense. Because right now, the Texans so far have been turning their season around and on a 4-game winning streak right now. They've been finding ways to do so in these aspects. So yeah, so I think the Texans so far, it was a good win for them, but I really still think they could have an outside chance to make the playoffs though. But I don't really know because this schedule right here, everybody in the AFC South is pretty good except for the Titans. So we'll see who wins it. We'll see what happens when the Colts play Jacksonville, and we'll see what happens when the Texans play the Chiefs. And by the way, that was a good win by. It was a good win by the Texans so far. Now, I want to talk about the Steelers because right now the Steelers have lost their last 2 games and they're just being soft. Now, I want to talk about the negatives of the Steelers. Now, so far, the positive of Pittsburgh is that Pittsburgh so far has lost because they have lost like their last 2 games back to back against the Bears and Bills. And I want to talk about why this team is soft. Because so far, they have struggled to get their offense going. And so far, defensively, they have struggled to get things going defensively as well. Because here's the thing. The Steelers could not stop the run. James Cook had 144 rushing yards off of 32 carries. And all the Bills did, they were just run the ball down their throats. We know they couldn't pass. They didn't do much passing, though. Josh Allen only had 123 yards and 1 touchdown pass. And the Bills so far, they capitalize on that. because their defense was able to get some stops when they need to. And we know the run defense was a lot better because here's the thing. Buffalo had the worst run defense almost all year, and the Steelers could not run the football. Like I've been saying, it's like the same thing like the Steelers. Their offense is playing sloppy. Like I've been saying, the defense should be in the situations though, because sometimes it's not just defense, it's just the offense going 3 and out, drop pass, sloppy plays, all of that though. And they struggled to do so against the Buffalo Bills. Like they could not run the football. They could not throw the football though. Because Aaron Rodgers did not look good in that game because he was terrible. Like the Steelers offense struggled to get things going. Now I want to talk about, now I want to talk about, because I want to talk about the positives about the Steelers and the negatives. Now, the Steelers defense did force a turnover in the first quarter, but at the same time, the Steelers defense did get run over by James Cook. And I've been saying, and all of a sudden, their pass defense has been struggling at times where they can't stop the pass. Like I've been saying, like, you can't stop the run unless you load the box, and you can't cover unless you put everybody in coverage. Because when you play the run, you got to put everybody in the box. Like, trust me, like, they were like getting diced up in that game where they looked like Philly on Friday where their defense was they looked like Philly on Friday where their defense couldn't stop the run. Like I've been saying, like, all the Bills were just doing is run the ball multiple times. And all of a sudden, the Steelers, they need to be better defensively because this is starting to get a coaching issue, especially on offense. Like, Arthur Smith could be one of the worst offensive coordinators in football. Like, he doesn't know how to simplify the offense. It's just that their defense is playing really good at some games, but it hasn't been. It's just that their offense right now just can't produce. And it's been the same story with this Steelers organization. I don't know if this team's going to make the playoffs, though, because this team right now is looking like a fraud. I don't see them being the Baltimore Ravens. I don't see them being the Detroit Lions. These are all the teams I got making the playoffs, though. But the Browns is a winnable game for them, and the Dolphins could be a winnable game for them, but I don't know if they'll beat them. So I feel like this Steelers team, like, things is not getting easier for them because they're not finding ways to win football games like they should. Like, their defense will win them games. It's just that their offense can't produce on game-winning drives. And like I've been saying, this is like the softest Steelers team I ever seen in football history. Like, every time when they make the playoffs, they just find a way to go one and done. And even if they do, they'll probably go one and done. But I don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year because of how bad they've been offensively and defensively as well. So overall, the Steelers so far are a joke to me. I mean, I hope they get their offense figured out. I hope they get the defense figured out because my issue with the offense is, like, they're not really getting their tight ends involved. They're not getting Pat Freiermuth involved. They're not getting Jonnu Smith involved. They're not getting their tight ends involved. They're not moving them around. They just signed Adam Thielen. And I just don't really think that, I don't know if it's going to help at all because it's a play calling issue. So, yeah, so you guys let me know what you guys think about the Steelers being soft if you think they're going to be able to turn around. Like, this team just soft, and I'm done with Pittsburgh. And finally, I want to talk about the Patriots being the best team in the league because so far, the Patriots have have been winning, been on a hot streak, and they haven't lost since week 3 after a 1-2 start because the Patriots have totally turned the corner. And I like how the way the Patriots are playing as an offense right now. They're running the football. They're throwing the football. Drake May looks like a darn good quarterback. He could be MVP. Offensive line's playing good. I like how the way they're getting their receivers involved. They're getting Kayshawn involved. They're getting their tight ends involved. Hunter Henry, they're getting Diggs involved. I like how the way they're playing on offense. And the defense so far is playing really good. They can stop the run. They can stop the pass. Like, this coaching is pretty good. And I like how the way, how the way they've been responding every week. You know, this team has totally turned the corner. Like I've been saying, they really turned the corner and they looking like a really good franchise team. And they really have a chance to clinch a playoff berth as well. Because they're leading the division and they're leading to get the first seed. Like this is looking good for New England. So so by this point, I feel like the Patriots are the best team in the league and they're finding ways to get it done. Like, so yeah, I mean, this Patriots team, they look like a really good contender and they're looking pretty good. So yeah, so basically the Patriots so far, they're not far from being a contender. They're looking like a darn good team. They're finding ways to win. And they really got the best coach out there. So yeah. So it's a good win by the Patriots and by the Giants on Monday Night Football. It was amazing. Well, those are all my Week 13 reactions for this week. Thank you guys for watching. And don't forget, if you disagree with me, just let me know in the comments section below what you guys think of my reactions. As a Mail Jones, big fan. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. You can see more of my videos of my reactions or my weekly predictions through my playlist and all that. So yeah. Well, thank you again for watching. See you guys later. Peace.